Okay, all right. We are on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another monthly interview with one of our Mind Hive people, one of our guides. And this month, we are featuring Lori.
Hi everybody.
Lori and I go way back. We know each other from our meditation teacher courses.
hmm
And we've known each other for, oh my gosh, 3 years now?
Yeah, I think it's going on three. I think it's going on three.
Three
Yeah,
magical
time
years.
flies.
And so Lori is an incredible meditation teacher, and she is very passionate about anything mindfulness and meditation. And it was just so great to have you join Mind Hive. And we have at least one of your meditations now available on the website. So that's great. And thank you.
Yes, and more coming. There's more coming, definitely.
I love it. Okay. Well, that's perfect. So thank you for taking time today. I wanted to just start off by asking you about your personal journey when it comes to mindfulness and why it's important and how you use it in your daily life.
Yeah. So, you know, how I came to kind of be aware of myself and, my patterns and my life, so to speak, is by tragedy. I went through something very traumatic with my kids and I. And when that happened, it was like an awakening, an instant awakening. And, some people have them through a book, through a meditation practice, through, can be, through, I guess you can say, some type of medicine that you take, some type of medicine journey you may take that kind of awakens you to yourself and to the world. And so that's what happened with me. And it started off like, okay, what is this? There's grief, there's anxiety. It's like, how do I get a hold of what's going on and what's occurring? And that's when I was introduced to meditation, to mindfulness, right?
Also, can you check for me your camera real quick? If
Oh,
you,
yeah. Did it automatically go off?
yeah, it did for some reason. Oh, there you go.
Okay. So let me make sure I want my background on. Can you edit this out?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean,
Okay. It's not allowing me to
it's more
change.
authentic this way.
And I don't want people looking at my background. Which one do I have?
Right now it's a rose. Well, no camera and just a rose.
It's Google. It's Google kind of doing this. It's okay. Just leave it. Okay. All good?
Yes. And so, okay, so it started with a traumatic event, and so you just needed something to support you through those hard times.
Yeah. So I went on the journey of discovering, how do I heal myself? How do I get a hold of what is occurring? Because my whole life was upside down. But in that awakening, and going and learning about meditation and mindfulness, and going into the inner world, um, I could see the patterns. I can see the ways in which my belief system was conditioned, and that I was not living my life authentically the way that I wanted to live it, so to speak. Um, so that's kind of how I came to be self-aware of myself and my place in the world and my purpose in the world.
Hmm, that's great. So,
Yeah.
what are your favorite, juiciest practices that you love outside
Um,
meditations, of course?
outside of what?
Outside of a mind honey meditations.
Oh, yes. So, well, we live in such a fast-paced world. It's really hard, and myself included, sometimes to just find time to stop and to meditate, or to kind of get back to the present, right? Because we're so used to living in our heads and in our thoughts. Um, but one of the ways that I bring myself when And that's the thing is that when you continue mindfulness and meditation and really being aware of where you stand in the world, you can catch yourself when you're like, okay, I'm spiraling, right? I'm out of alignment, so to speak.
Mm.
And the first thing I like to do is orientate, which means stop where I'm at and look and pick something in the room to look at, um, whether it's something interesting or a color that stands out. And I start to evaluate what's in front of me. And that's
Mm.
also like a nervous system practice, but I didn't know it until like I started investigating and researching about the nervous system. But it was just something I would naturally do to kind of bring me in the present moment, and bring me
Ooh, you know
to what was
what?
in front
I
of
love
me. Yeah, yeah,
this is inspiring me to create a meditation about that. I love it.
yeah, yeah. And it's just it's really also letting you know in your nervous system that you're safe, right? Because when you start to spiral and then you start to be like, oh, I have this to do, or I have that to do, or I'm worried about, money problems, all these things that we worry about, or some of us, um, it can really bring us to this place of, okay, what can we do now in this moment? And can
Mm,
we let ourselves know we're safe, everything's fine, and where can we go from here? You know? So
absolutely.
that's a really one that I have in the back of my pocket, my little toolbox there to kind of bring me to the moment and to calm my nervous system. And the other one that I really love, because sometimes we find when our mind is racing, we're like, I can't sit, I can't look at anything in the room. Like I just can't. You can't do it. Our body's just like, what do we do? So you dance, right? So like I'll put a song on, whatever, trying to get, whether it's fast, whether it's slow, whether it's like I need to move my body, I need to move the energy, right? So that really helps me kind of bring me back down and in the moment. So that's the other one I do. And everyone's different, right? Everyone has their own little ways of finding, alignment, or sometimes it's like I find it's not really trying to escape, because it can be confusing sometimes where you're like, I'm feeling like this ugly feeling and I don't want to feel this ugly feeling. So I want to meditate or I want to do a yoga or, it's only natural to kind of want to, you know, disappear from that. But I find when you really let yourself fall into it, like you're like, I'm feeling really, and it 90 seconds are less, it'll resolve, but it just wants to be paid attention to, right? That is something wants to be listened to inside, you know, and that will
Mm,
bring you back to mindfulness. That will bring you back to, but it depends on like where the person is on their journey as well, because sometimes people don't understand the process that's occurring. And that's why meditation is good for them, right? Because it'll bring them out into the place of the watcher, right? Into the place of, okay, I am not my thoughts, but I can see them. I can see my patterns, you
mm.
know. But that muscle grows for sure. So if anyone's listening and they, can't meditate or they're starting to, just keep at it, keep going, you know. It'll get stronger, definitely.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
so true. That's very powerful. And that's why we call it practice. And hopefully it's a daily practice. And that's why with Mind Honey Collective, what we do is we create Mini-Tations. They're short. And so the hope is for us to get people to meditate just a little bit, but maybe daily. Can you do it? We just let's hope it's daily, but even though they're
Mhm.
short, but it creates that habit and it turns into a practice. And then it's so interesting, what started to happen already. I have people reaching out to me and saying 5 minutes is too short. We want longer.
Really? Wow.
Already. People saying, wait, Olga, I want so much more. And I said, that is exactly what we're trying to
I
accomplish.
love that.
This is a gateway into mindfulness, right? And then absolutely we can create longer meditations. And we have personalized meditations that we are now going to offer to create longer personalized meditations. But that's exactly what we want. We want people to get hooked on daily meditation practice. And like you said, is just and become stronger. And next thing you know, you just
Mhm.
noticing all these great things, and you're starting to bring you sort of to embody, right?
Mm.
Um, all
Yeah,
this.
and that's what I love about Honey too. I love the concept of 5 minute. And even if you start to create like increments of 5, 10, 15, as you advance, right? Because everyone starts somewhere. And then sometimes some people need guided meditations, for a while until they can kind of go on their own. And then sometimes you come back to it, like I go back to it too. But I love like that moment. There are moments where it's like I'm feeling there's a certain need, right? Each of us have in a certain moment, like, I really need someone to tell me, like, I'm worthy, or I need someone to remind me of who I am and or what I'm capable of. And that's what I love about Mind Honey, because you can kind of go and pick and choose and really just, you know, get that energy when you need it. Like, you need that support. We need that support. We need to be reminded, and we need to be there for each other, collectively on that level. So that's what I love about Mind Honey. It's so beautiful. I love it. It's
Thank
genius idea.
thank you. Well, yeah, and exactly. If you look through our meditations, there are several that are literally just titled "I am beautiful," "I am enough," or there are several that are titled "When I feel jealous," "When I feel insecure," right? And
Mhm.
so I've designed them so exactly in the moments when you feel jealous,
So beautiful.
you can say, you know what, instead of shutting it down, I'm going to sit with it for the next five
Mhm.
minutes and I'm going to sit and have this relationship with my feelings of jealousy and see what, what I can do. And it's just such a, I love it so much because you're right. It creates all around it and helps us be more confident, more authentic, right? When we pause and stop and ground and really feel into these feelings, even if they're not pleasant feelings, because we're always seeking and searching pleasant feelings. But what happens when, we feel jealous or scared or insecure or like we're not
Mhm.
enough? Those, like you said, those feelings do want attention from us,
Mhm.
right? They're
Yes,
not going
yes.
anywhere. They'll be tagging on us. So why don't we sit down and have a little time with those and, not necessarily pleasant feelings and emotions and see what happens.
Mhm. Yes, I love that. That's beautiful, Olga. Yeah, I also feel too there's a lot of shame and guilt, or there's the feeling of I shouldn't feel this way, or I don't want people to know that I'm jealous or that I have this competitive energy. It's like there's always a message in that. And just have compassion for yourself as you're doing this healing journey, because we have to go through, the shadow work, through the darkness, to understand what our light is, right? And to know that those are conditioned parts of us that were suppressed, and it just, again, they just want to be seen, they want to be acknowledged, and they want to be integrated, right? We want to
Mhm.
be integrated with that. So
Mm, I love it.
yeah.
Lori, oh my God. I'm so happy you're part of Mind Hive. I cannot wait to hear the promised Mini-Tations that you mentioned.
You're like, I'm gonna hold you to it. I have
No,
some in my back pocket. I will for
yeah.
sure be
Well,
sending.
it's New Year, and I know, it's interesting because I'm seeing this with myself and with all the guides and all of my musicians. What we do here is truly art. This is art, right? This is
Mm,
not. Um, this is something that people need inspiration and time and energy to create. And I think I had to learn to be patient with the collective, right? Because, and with myself. But, I do sometimes have, my musicians say, listen, like, I'm just not feeling it right now. Like, I need some more time to be creative because,
mm,
when I send them meditations, it is the message and the theme that inspires them to create music. And it's,
mhm,
music is created per meditation. And so for me, same with guides, right? I want the guides to want to create and record these meditations. I
mm,
never want you to come from the energy of like, oh, I
mm,
have to do this. I want you to be in a space where you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to record this right now, and I have this in me, and it's coming out in the meditation. So I want that energy, and so I had to, it's a constant struggle with like corporate Olga and yoga Olga, where
yes.
saying yesterday, but at the
Yeah.
same time, but at the same time, I understand that it's a creative process, and because we
Yeah.
are creating mindfulness art, it takes time and inspiration. And so, I'm learning to be patient and
Yeah.
trusting timing. So,
I love that, Olga. And I think that people can feel that from you and from Mine Honey too, is that these are timeless meditations, right? So they come from a place of groundedness. So there's an
mm,
energy behind that, and that's going to be shared with everyone who listens to it. So it's very sacred. It's a very sacred process. And I love that you are surrendering and holding both parts of Olga because we love both of those parts too. We need the logic as well in the business. Um, but I think that this is just going to be something really beautiful, and it's going to bloom, and it's going to continue to bloom. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I just can't wait to see what comes. So,
yes.
yeah.
Thank you, Lori. Oh my gosh, I love you so
I
much.
love you.
I cannot wait to see you soon.
Yes.
Hopefully, now that I'm saying this, we should definitely plan something. While we're going to be in LA for Dispensa's retreat coming up. So, let's plan something because I would love to give you a hug, and I haven't seen you in too long, and I miss you, and I love you, and I'm just so
I miss
grateful for you and our friendship and all of your love and all of your meditations.
Same. I love you, Olga. I love Mine Honey. Mwah.
Thank you so much. All right. Well,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.
I go ahead and find Laura's meditation at mindhoneycollective.com and follow us at Mind Honey Collective on Instagram, and you can follow our stories and learn more about our beautiful Mind Hive and our collective. All right, thanks everybody. Stay mindful. Mwah.